Welcome to Sales for Leaders. I am Adini Adebola Tiba. You will get to know me more in just about a moment. Thank you so much for joining this course. Thank you for registering for this course. Thank you for taking this course. And I'm sure that you will get the best out of this course. Welcome again. Let's start. All right. So the only real creators of wealth in our society are businesses. And salespeople are the most vital people in any business. Now, listen, without sales, the biggest and the most sophisticated companies will shut down. More than anything, COVID-19 has rewritten everything. You could just see it. A lot of giants in the industry closed down. There's a lot of Goliaths actually closed down. And then we had a lot of Davids that actually came up. In other words, because why? Because a lot of people are beginning to get it now that regardless of your size, if you're not selling anything, there is a huge problem. One of the things you need to understand is that, all right? Now, businesses succeed because of high sales, and businesses fail because of what? Low sales. Every other thing is complementary. And this is what this guy said, the DB report. That's what they said. It's quite important for you to understand this, that when businesses succeed, it's because they have high sales. And if they have low sales, they fail. That is very, very, very important. At the turn of the 20th century, the Dun & Bradstreet, DNB, took decades of data gathered on failing companies, and they ran them through their supercomputer to distill the most important variables of business success. And the conclusion was just exactly what you're seeing on the screen, that businesses succeed because of high sales and they fail because of low sales. So once you're beginning to have problems with sales, you are on your way out. You're on your way out. This is very key, and we need not to joke with that. Now, this is why understanding sales is a must. Number one, it is 10 times more important than any skill in business. If you're not selling, you're not going anywhere. Business is all about sales. Number two, without sales, your business will go into extinction. We talked about that. High sales, you stay in business. Low sales, you get out of business. Number three, the economic terrain in your immediate community, the state, the nation, will be negatively impacted. You see, entrepreneurs are the saviors of any economy or any nation. Without business, without that economy, that buying and selling, the trade, everybody goes into extinction. Everybody is negatively affected. Recession is when the economy is not working. Number four, there would be unemployment, and you understand that. And last but not the least, people would starve, because you see, when there's no sale, there's no exchange of value for money, there will always be problem. All right, that is very key. Last but not the least is that there will be chaos. There will be chaos. There will be chaos, of course, when there's no exchange of money, when people are not making money, the economic terrain is in problem, there's no employment, people are starving, then obviously you will notice that there would be chaos. Let's move on. Who is this course for? Who is this course for? We have this course is for business owners. If you're a business owner, you're in the right place. It's for sales directors. It's for head of sales, for sales supervisors. In any capacity that you are in sales, this is for you, because this will help you. All right, let's go on. And the objective of the course is to, of course, number one, to show leaders and stakeholders of the importance of sales to their organizations. I want to show you practically from experience and from consulting for one company or the other, several organizations, how important sales is to organizations. And number two, to show leaders and stakeholders of how they can be the driving force for better and sustainable sales in the business community. So are you ready? All right, let's start. But first off, I want you to understand, know you meet your facilitator. Who am I? I'm Adeni Adebola Atiba, like I said, popularly called Dr. AAA. I'm a sales consultant, a profitability coach. I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, I'm a content king, a social media manager, and digital marketer. All right. Now, for about 7 years, I've successfully taught and coached hundreds of business owners, sales leaders, and career professionals cutting across various industries within and outside Nigeria on how to sell themselves. Now, the products and services, I would sell themselves a product and services, boost their sales performance in my diverse capacities as sales managing consultant, social media manager, copywriter, content creator, and digital marketer. So, of course, I have trained and coached sales teams from organizations ranging from manufacturing concerns like Basco Nigeria Limited, Nampak Cartons Nigeria Limited, that's a sister company to British American Tobacco, to telecommunication businesses like Bamisol Telecoms and several others, media outfits like Trace Media, event organizations like PepVan, Kixi Limited, many more branches of churches like Redeemed Christian Church of God have done Triumph Assembly churches, have done Pacer Assembly, several other churches, food and smoothie brands like Nukes, Nook Tree, Chocos, schools like Foursquare, secondary school, the Ecuador, the Lord Schools, Lee City High School, All Saints College, several schools all over Nigeria, you know. And of course, I have been consistently featured on the business segment of radio and TV stations like Impact Business Radio, R2FM, Diamond FM, New Frontiers Television, MIT, The Apostles Radio. And my company has been written about on the African business communities. All right. I'm an alumni of Faith Foundation. I'm a member of Young African Leadership Initiative. I'm a certified life coach with our College Institute of Psychology, Scotland. I'm a creator of the Workplace Intelligence Program and the Master Teacher Program, that have benefited several thousands of people that we have trained, and we've had wonderful feedback. I'm the author of 6 books, one of which is now on Amazon, The Intelligent Professional, right? Of course, um, I'm the director of the Dr. AAA Company, a management consulting firm I founded in 2006, which has evolved into a consulting of businesses, the principal of the Eden Business School, president of the Coalition of Speakers, a group of speakers, coaches, writers, and consultants, and founder of Success Clinic Africa, an online platform where I coach hundreds of young people to succeed in their personal life journeys for free. You know, so if you're asking why am I qualified to take this course, well, that's basically part of it. All right, and you could feel free to actually just check out my Instagram handles. I am the Profit Guru, or I didn't have to go. Just Google my name, and of course you're going to see what this man is all about. All right, so let's look at the cost map. Number one, we're going to be looking at what every leader needs to know about sales. So we're just going to be going, I won't be assuming that you know about sales. That would be an assumption. Assumptions are costly. And assumptions are actually the lowest form of, assumptions are the lowest forms of intelligence, all right? So we're going to be looking at what every leader needs to know about sales. Just by venture, you don't know them. And some of them you will know, some of them you may not probably know, but it's just good to just go through. Number two, we look at the link between sales and leadership. Number three, we look at how you can drive sales in your organization. And four, we're going to summarize. And then five, I'm going to challenge you on a sales challenge, take you on a 1 month sales challenge for your organization. So are you ready? Come on. Number one, let's look at what every leader needs to know about sales, what every leader needs to know about sales. All right, are you ready? Now, there's a fundamental sales truth that we need to start with, which everyone that I ever met, everybody is always arguing about. Everybody's arguing about it. You ask them, are you a salesperson? They tell you, no, I'm not a salesperson. But the truth is, everyone is a salesperson all our lives. Whether you're a consultant, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're a nutrition expert, you're a mechanic, you're a teacher, you're a manager, your husband, your parent, your male, female, adult, child, every one of us, we're selling one way or the other. Now, this is why, because you see, we're always selling ideas, we're always negotiating, we're always, communicating, we're influencing, we're persuading. No matter what you do, you're selling something. All right. The husband actually sold himself to his wife. That's why the woman said yes to him. It's very important and very interesting, but that's how life is. Your child is selling to you to get you to actually give him or her the school fees or get pocket money or whatever it is that you do. The same way in business, you're always negotiating and all that. And this is an interesting thing, guys. Look, gentlemen and ladies, your excellencies, this is interesting thing that, no matter the level you get to in life, you're always selling. And, and somebody says, you know what, um, I mean, I don't want to go into sales. I don't want to sell this. I don't want, no, everybody's selling. Whether to in every position that you're in, you are always selling. Listen, it's not only the sales representatives that sell. We're all of us are in the business of sales. All of us are in the business of sales. Right? So it's a great injustice to say, I'm not a salesperson, or to say, you know what, I'm running away from the sales industry. I don't want to be a salesperson. And never forget this equation, guys, gentlemen, ladies, your excellencies. Please don't do it. No sales equals to no business. Your business ceases to exist the very moment you stop selling, the very moment you don't want to sell. So it's important and critical that you understand this. All right. Now, to understand sales, it's important we go through the route of marketing. You need to understand marketing. Why? Why? Because when marketing is done properly, sales is the natural end process. So let's look at what marketing is. Marketing is anything you do to get or keep a customer, any activity that you do to get a keep a customer, to get or keep a customer. So you make a noise about it. It's not just awareness. It's not just advertising. It's also designing things better. And this, let's look at this now. It's composed of three different and distinct elements. All right. Number one is your research. You've got to understand that you understand what your customers want, what your customers or potential customers, what they want. That's what you do at the first level. You understand what they want. Two is that the product development, you create products and services and experiences that satisfy those desires. Number three is the communication. And that's what we're talking about. That's why I'm saying that it's more than just creating awareness for your product. First off, you have to research your target audience. Find out what exactly it is they want. Now, once you know what they want, you move to product development, which means you create the bespoke solutions to their problems. All right. And then from there, you communicate, you let them know, guys, we have this thing. All right. So that's why Peter F. Drucker, the father of management, said that the aim of marketing is to know and understand the customer so well that the product or service fits in and sells itself. Let me read that again. The aim of marketing is to know and understand the customer so well that the product or service fits them and sells itself. So, in other words, you create something from scratch. You understand your customer, you study your customer so well that you are able to create something that is bespoke for them. So much that when they see, they're like, wow, this is me. This is just exactly who I am. This is what I want. All right. And that's basically this. This is how this works. So let's look at this again in summary. Marketing is simply what? Understanding what your customer really wants. That's what we call research. You research and find out, you understand what exactly it is they want. Number two is you create products and services and experiences that satisfy their desires. All right. So that means that's product development stage. Of course, the last but not the least is communication. You communicate with your customer to let them know that you have the perfect solution to their problem. But guys, you know what? Sales is different. Sales is part of it. Sales, like I said, is part of marketing. It is the natural end result of marketing. So it's the activity or business of selling products and services. You're exchanging what you produce for the client. Remember, You understand them, you understand your customer, your client, you understand them already. You created something for them, you're communicating it to them. Now you're taking it to them to get, to get them to buy from it. Now, when marketing is done well, like I said, sales becomes easy. And guys, look, listen, sales must happen for your business to stay afloat. That's just the truth. And while marketing drives demand for products or services, sales fulfills the demand. Marketing drives the demand. All right. Sales fulfills that demands and creates relationships. So if you're going to sell, it goes beyond just exchanging and just collecting the money. It's not a one-time sale. No, no, no. That's not what this is about. This is about creating long-term relationships with your client, having repeat business and doing these things, as often as possible. Marketing involves getting the customer to the product or service, but sales involves getting the product or service to the customer. I hope you get what I'm talking about here. All right. So you get the customer to the product or service, but more importantly, you should actually get, all right, you get the product or service to the customer. That's what sales is. Marketing, it makes the noise, tells the customer, this is about this. I mean, this is this. Can you see this? This is perfect for you. But sales ensures that the product and service gets to the customer. And last but not the least is that marketing is the opening, is at your opening, while sales, on the other hand, is the activity of closing. All right. So let's look at what sales is again. Uh, like I said, I'm not going to just take it for granted that you understand this. So we're going to break it one more time, break it as much as possible. According to Philip Kotler, who is a professor of marketing, sales is a process of persuading customers to purchase the company's product or service. In the strictest sense, sales is a natural result of the four P's: a product, the price, place, and the promotion. All right. So you've got to have a perfect product at the perfect price in the perfect place. That's the right position. All right. And of course, and promote it in the language that the customer wants. You got to understand that sales is all about communication. What you're doing is that you're communicating that you care. All right, you're communicating that you care about the person that you're selling to. All right, you know about what they're, about what they're talking about. You know about what you're talking about. You're the best person for the job. You are the perfect person who can solve their problems. And that is very, very key. You need to understand this. All right, moving on. Sales is about perception. And here, what you're doing is that you're convincing your customer that, you know what, I'm the guy to trust. I'm the one for the job, right? You are the perfect person to solve their problem. It's all about perception. You got to, show your swell, so show that you're confident, your dressing, your speaking, your knowledge, your competence level, your ability to answer the objections, to handle the objections, all these things they're looking at it. And they're saying to themselves, you know what, can this guy really do this? Oh yeah, sure. You prove it to them. And it's not just by speaking, it's about the way you carry yourself. Next is sales is all about making presentations. You got to make presentations. You got to learn the art of making presentations, be comfortable with it, learn public speaking, learn how to communicate in the simplest form. And you get to do this very well. So what sales is not. Basically, sales is not the exchange of products or services for customers' money. Rather, friends, it is the exchange of best fit or bespoke solutions for customers' money. In other words, you identify their problems. And let me tell you something, you got to be able to listen. A salesperson understands this. You are the driving force of sales in your organization. All right. You got to understand this, that you have to listen more to your customers. It's not about what you're selling, it's about what your customers are buying. Can I say that again? It's not about what you're selling, it's about what your customers are buying. So you got to listen to them, get feedback from them, and then produce something that they really want. And let me tell you, if you get this very well, you'll be able to convince a lot of people to actually buy much more from you than you actually expect. Here's the principle. People don't want to sell, they don't want you to sell them. All right. They want you to solve them something. All right. Now, this is the truth. If you accept, I don't know whether you're going to accept it or not, but the truth is nobody likes to be sold. Nobody likes to be sold. Everybody wants to be solved. They want to solve a problem. They want to get rid of a pain that they have or solve a problem that they're trying to get rid of. All right. So nobody wants that. So don't sell them something. Just solve them. All right. Don't sell me something. Solve them something. All right. And let's quickly look at some criteria that needs to be satisfied in order to have a successful sales process. All right. Which we're going to look at in the next one. But this is important that you look at this. Number one is that there must be at least two parties for a sale to happen. For a sale to happen, you have to get two people. I mean, at least two people. One person selling, the other person buying. Now, what is being sold must be tangible or intangible good or service. So whether it's a car or a house or an insurance, or you're selling wigs, or you're selling hairdressing solutions, or better still, you're selling a digital product, whatever it is that you're selling, there must be a product. Something must be bought, all right? And then there must be some kind of value in exchange for the good or service. Now, you're a fraud if what you're selling does not have value. You hyped it up, and then your buyer discovers that it has no value at all, nothing. It's like buying dross, fake gold, and discovering that it has no value. So it must have value for it to be legal. All right. Next up is you need to understand this. You cannot sell what you don't love. If you don't love what you're selling, you're wasting your time. It will show. You see, you can't hide it. You can't hide it. And that's how life is. Next up is you can't truly sell. You can't sell truly what you can't afford. You have to afford it in your mind, and you have to afford it in your pocket. Look, guys, listen. You cannot get a poor man to sell Rolls Royce. Yeah, you can't get you cannot succeed if you get a poor man, somebody who does not, who doesn't understand, who cannot afford it in his mind. It's a crime when you get somebody to sell something they believe is expensive. Trust me, they will not sell it. They will come back to you and give up all sort of excuses. They will tell you, no, this thing cannot sell and all that. I can bet you from training different people, coaching different people, from personal experience, that people cannot sell what they cannot afford from their pocket or in their mind. So it's very important that you have somebody whose mind is grown to that level, including you, sir, Omar. All right. You have to be able to afford what you want to sell. You can do that. You feel it's too expensive, you cannot sell it. All right. You can truly sell, all right, what you don't believe in. If you don't believe in what you're selling, there's a huge problem. There's a huge problem. And that has happened to me before. I was selling a particular product one time, and truth is, I just didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in it. And because I didn't believe in it, I couldn't sell it. And so it's a big problem. If you don't believe in it, it would affect you. People will know. It's just a matter of time. And you can't truly sell what you don't understand. If you don't understand it, you cannot sell it. So master your product, master your service, master your customer, master the people that you're talking to, master your objections, practice your objections, understand these things before you go out into the field is very important. So let's look at the sales process. These are 7 stages of the sales sales process or sales cycle, like we call it. Number one is prospecting. Prospecting means that you go out there and you look at, okay, who are the possible people that can buy my product and service. You've identified your target audience, and now you're looking at the prospects. Who are the people that can buy from me? All right, the people that can buy from me. So you create a list. What I advise most of my clients is that create a 100 people list, or 300 people list, or 500 people list, or 1,000 people list. And what this does is it gives you something to start and something to work with. All right. And this is it, guys. Would you please fail? What are you saying, Dr. Triple A? What I'm saying is simple, very simple, guys. What I'm saying is do something. Don't just sit down there. The more you fail, the more your rate of success. All right. If you go out there, if you have like 1,000 prospect list, what happens is, and you make contact, which is number two. What happens is that you discover that the more people you have, the more people you talk to, the more your chances of success. All right. Some will say no, yeah, but others will say yes. You achieve more by doing, not by sitting. All right. So sales it requires confidence, it requires boldness. You make contact and then you qualify your prospect. You qualify them by asking them questions. By asking them questions, you will know whether they're indeed your customers or not. And then you nurture the prospect. That's the next one. The fourth stage. You nurture the prospect. You begin to talk to them. You begin to, relate with them, ask them questions and all those things. You begin to, get to know them more, make them more comfortable with you. And then you present your offer. When you present your offer, we'll go to the next one, which is you overcome objections because they're going to ask you questions. I don't think I can buy now. It's expensive. I don't think we'll call you back. All those things, you handle that. And that's why you need to practice those objections. Write out every possible objection you have raised up. All right. And talk to your colleagues, talk to your people. What are the things that that the objections that you probably have about any product somebody just comes and markets to you? Oh, I don't need it now. Oh, it's my wife that buys these things. Oh, no, the kids don't need it. Oh, no, 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 no. I mean, it's not my favorite color. All those things, you got to practice them way ahead and know. And then, of course, you close the sale. Close the sale. Now, understand that in all this process, there's something called a relationship. You've got to build a relationship with them. Don't listen to me. The best of people don't even want to be close. All right. So what you do is you close them with wisdom. All right. And when you're closing, you strategies like what. So when are you picking this up? Should I send you my account details? Should I write it down? Do you want me to give you our account? You know, close it firmly and gently and with wisdom, right? So that they understand. I mean, so that you're able to walk away with sale. Because most times, a lot of people don't walk away with the sale. You run through the entire process only to get to the seventh stage, and people don't close the sale. They don't close it well, and because of that, a lot of money is left on the table. All right, let's look at the link between leadership and sales. Link between leadership and sales. Yeah, so story. Now, you see, several years ago, a retail company in Mexico contacted some consultants with the desire to help them improve the effectiveness of their store managers, all right? They wanted to improve the effectiveness of their store managers. And then, of course, the regional managers, all right? Those two. And now the company, what they do is that they provide goods and services to the poorest people in Mexico, right? Mexico, like well they call it. And they've been very successful. That they knew there were some significant, they noticed that there were some significant differences between the different different stores, in the difference between their sales revenue. So they decided that they wanted to know. So they were thinking that the store manager's effectiveness could be a source of the variability, why the sales revenue was different from one store to the other. So the consultants took the challenge and they said, you know what, guys, let's do this. So they created a customized short, and simple 360-degree assessment and gathered data on the 95 store managers because the company had the retail store chain had 95 stores. Now, um, you know, the store managers typically didn't have any formal education, all right, and they were just their formal education was not beyond high school, high school, and they were promoted from within. And so the employees at the stores had similar educational backgrounds, all right? Now, on average, the leaders were evaluated by 16 people. 16 people, take note of that, 16 people, including managers, peers, direct reports, and internal customers, all right? About 16 people. Now, in the data, the consultants noticed a wide variance in the overall in the overall effectiveness ratings of the managers, average of all the survey items ranging from 2.89 to 4.55. Okay. Now, we were talking about data. There was a variance in the effectiveness ratings. In other words, how effective these guys were. All right. So from 2.89 to 4.55, and in each of the stores, they were able to collect sales results to the current year along with the previous year, current year along with the previous year. And they calculated the percentage of growth in the sales versus the prior year. Now, overall, there was a 5% year over year sales growth in the organization. Every year, these guys they were stepping up, at the rate of, 5%. Right now, if you look at the graph on the side, you're going to see the results, demonstrating the impact of the leadership effectiveness on year-to-year sales in the store. So the bottom 10%, you could see them, those guys, 0.7, 0.7%. And then, of course, the top guys, these guys had 7.4%. Now, this is an interesting thing, though. You will notice how the effectiveness affected, the growth in sales. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying here. I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing here. All right. So now this raters, I said we should take note of that. The 16 people could easily tell the difference between poor leaders, good leaders, and extraordinary leaders. So if you're poor leader, it affects your sales. It affects your effectiveness as a leader affects your growth in sales. That's what we're saying. The bottom 10%, their effectiveness was low, and because the effectiveness was low, it affected their sales. Okay, the guys at the top 10%, the effectiveness as leaders affected the sales. All right, you could see that from 0.7 to 7.4. That's a lot. All right, so truly, guys, everything falls and rises on leadership. The link between leadership and sales is that if you're a poor leader, you have poor sales. If you're an extraordinary leader, you're going to have extraordinary sales. Are we together? All right, so let's look at the next one. I hope you're really enjoying this course like I am. All right, so let's look at how you can drive sales in your organization, how you can drive sales in your organization. Number one, you need to strategize. All right, you need to, whether you like it or not, formulate your sales strategy. A sales strategy is defined as a documented plan for positioning and selling your product or service to qualified buyers in a way that differentiates your solution from your competitors. Okay, guys, that is very, very key. Any sales strategy that is not in alignment with your customer will fail. You have to understand this from the very scratch, okay? Sales strategies are meant to provide clear objectives and guidance to your sales organization, okay? They typically include the key information like growth goals. What are your growth goals? What's your sales goal? How much do you want to make per month, or let's even say per quarter or per year? All right. Your KPI, that's your key performance indexes, must be there. How do you measure that growth? How are you going to measure that growth? Your buyer's persona, the people that are going to buy, have you generated it? Do you know them? Do you have a clue of what these guys are? Of course, your sales processes, how are you going to run it from the beginning to the end? Somebody approaches your company, they want to buy stuff from you, or you approach somebody, like we said, what's your sales cycle going to be like? All right, your sales process is going to be like from the beginning to the end. How do you handle after sales? How do you handle inquiries? How do you handle, sales refunds? Say somebody gets something and the product is spoiled. How do you handle all these things? This is very important. Of course, your team structure. How do you structure your team? You're the head of team, or of sales. Sorry, you're the head of sales, whether you like it or not. Whether you're the CEO or you're the founder, the director, whoever it is that you are in charge of sales. You are the sales director. Even if you have a sales director, you are still the sales director, right? So how do you handle that? How do you handle the structure of your sales, of your organization sales, team, the team structure and all that? The competitive analysis. Have you analyzed your market? Do you know who your competitors are? Who are the people that are supplying the kind of products that you have? Who are those people? Do you know them? Have you analyzed it? What are the strengths and weaknesses? Have you been able to take advantage of their own weaknesses and all that? You need to look at your product positioning. How well positioned is your product in the market? Your service, whatever it is that you have, how positioned are you? Is it something that will work? Are you sure it's going to work? You have to set the market. You have to question yourself, question the market, question your customers, find out what this is about. And then you should have specific selling methods. What are your methods? Are you ready for that? What are the methods you're going to use to understand this? Is that these, listen, most of these guidelines are helpful, for communicating goals, to your team. All right. Once you get that, once you get the first ones that we talked about, you understand your growth goals, your KPIs, your buyers persona, your sales process, your team structure, your competitive analysis, your product positioning, and your specific selling methods. This will help you to communicate to your team. All right. And then you keep your guys on the same page all through the year, because you're like telling them stuff and everything, once in a quarter, you're meeting with them, you're telling them stuff, or better still, if you're a small organization, you meet with them, it could be monthly, could be weekly, depending on how often it is you want. You communicate these things to them, and then you drive them and all that, and all that, and all that. And the actual skills needed to have winning conversations with customers, along with the message reps need to be successful, are merely an afterthought. Once you are able to sort out your sales strategy plan, you will be able, you'll be guided, you'll be equipped to communicate effectively to your staff and also to your customers. Because you need to understand that your sales team are actually also your own customers. They are internal customers. And then your other customers are your external customers. So when you boil it down, the goal of every sales strategy is to make sure your sales persons, they eat their quota, right? And it's the message element. What do they say? You got to let them understand in simple terms. What do you say? What do you do? And what do you write in order to create perceived customer value? How do you communicate to them? And let me tell you guys, if you don't train them to do that, you don't train them on what to say, what to do, what to write in order to win their customers, you're losing it. So the sales strategy must be, like we said, to be truly effective, your organization's sales strategy needs to focus on customer conversations. It must focus on them. That is very, very key. All right, move forward. Number two, communicate. Communicate. We said that number one, you got to strategize, have a strategy plan. What are you going to say? What will you do? What will you write to get a customer to buy from you? You got to do that. That's a summary. Do all that. Number two, communicate to your staff and, communicate to them. And it's very important. And I love what Dan Oswald, the CEO of ALR, said. He said that communication must be hot. In other words, it must be honest, it must be open, and it must be two-way. It must be honest. Tell them the truth. Tell them the truth. How is the state of the company right now? What is the next level? Where are we now? Where do we need to get to? And be open to them. Be real to them. I love what the CEO of Wolf of when I watched the movie Wolf of Wall Street, I loved the way he communicated to his guys. The way he opened up to them. He told them stuff. He was honest with them. He was open to them. And then it was a two-way thing. He would talk to them, that they get their attention, and then just whip them into a frenzy. And these guys would just go and they were doing a lot of stuff, And what should your communication be used for? You should sell the sales vision. Sell it to them. This is the goal. And guys, you know what? We hit this goal. Here's your share. That's how it is. Make it participatory. Get them invested in the vision. All right. Help them to make informed decisions. Use your communication to give them knowledge, to give them data, give them facts, something they can work with. All right. Equip them. Influence them via down-to-earth mentorship and coaching. Mentor these guys. Sit with them, coach them. Ask them if they're having problems. Get to the field with them. Show them how it's done. help them and all those things. Answer their questions and inspire them to perform beyond themselves. Like I was saying to you, the Wolf of Wall Street was a great inspiration to these guys. He told them, about his wristwatch, his suit, and everything. He said, I've been poor, I'm rich. He said, now I enjoy, so get these guys into a frenzy, whip them up, let them understand that this is not a joke, guys. This is the real deal. Get them, inspire them. Look for things, watch movies about business, about sales, check out YouTube, talk to people, get information, research about your competition. Like we said, get your sales strategy, all these things down, do the thing, practices, and then of course, get your people. Number three, you got to supervise. And I love this by Thesaurus the clause. This bird here, this guy here, and the red cap says, what's the opposite of supervise? And the other one says it's neglect, mismanage, follow, serve, abandon, disregard, forget, ignore, and pass over. Here's the truth. Whatever you don't supervise will become neglected, it will become mismanaged, and people will stop following you, people will stop serving you, it becomes abandoned, it becomes disregarded, you're forgotten, you're ignored, and you're passed over. Why? Because you lose your relevance. All right. So what is important is that you must supervise, and you will eventually lose what you don't supervise. You will lose control, whatever it is you don't supervise. Either way, you lose something. And it's very important that you do not lose something. Look at this garden, as beautiful as it is, as beautiful as the potential beauty is, because it's still potential. All right. It's unkept, it's outgrown. All right. Over time, it's going to lose its beauty, not because it's not beautiful, but because it's not properly managed. And that is the problem that we also have in a lot of organizations, in a lot of companies. And it doesn't just start in business. These things start from personal lifestyles, all right? People don't have the maintenance culture. They don't know how to manage things. And it's very important that we do that. Right? So I want to say to you that, yeah, supervise these guys, but please don't stifle them. Don't stifle your team. Supervise them. Don't stifle them. What does the word stifle mean? It means you make them unable to breathe properly or suffocate. All right. So that means that you're too close to them. You're trying to ask them to deliver too much in just a short space of time, and there will be a lot of problems. So what you need to do is don't stifle them. Just simply supervise. All right. Come, go, ask questions, help them out, and all those things, and we're good to go. All right. So let's summarize everything that we have learned. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Number one, let's talk about sales. Remember, sales is communicating exciting ideas and solutions to people who have problems. All right. So you are communicating ideas and solutions to people's problems. All right. And sales is an act of helping the customer through the buying process. You're helping them solve their problems. All right. You're sitting with them and you're doing what is important. Sales is listening to those people. All right. You listen to them and you give them exactly what you want. I've made that mistake severally. I thought to give them what I felt they needed. But you see, guys, I've discovered from experience that you don't give people what you want to give them. You give them what they want. So, but you get to a point where you're thinking to yourself, all right, do I want to work with people who are going to allow me to do my job and all that? No, look, guys, the reason you exist is to serve them. All right. So what they want is what you give them. If you cannot do that, then you don't take the deal. All right. I hope that helps. So sales is changing on perceptions about what you do and like your level of confidence. All right. So you just, let them understand, I'm the man for the job. And you inspire confidence within them. And then, of course, your life changes. Second to the last, for sales to work, it must be intentional. All right. It must be intentional. You got to understand the process and you got to be very, very intentional about it. All right. Four, remember, nobody likes to be sold to. Nobody likes to be sold to. Don't sell me, solve me. Don't sell me something, solve me something. All right. Leadership and sales thing, remember, We said your quality of leadership impacts how your employees feel about their jobs, which also contributes to the significant, or insignificant growth in sales. All right. So if you are an excellent leader, an extraordinary leader, you have extraordinary sales. You have poor leader, you have poor sales. So the way you handle your employee, because leadership is about setting the vision before selling the vision, then getting them to buy the vision and then follow and pursue the vision. So if you're a poor leader, you have poor results. If you're an extraordinary leader, you have extraordinary results. All right. Now for strategy, you need to understand that to be truly effective, your organization's sales strategy needs to focus on customer what? Conversations. Thank you. You know, it's very critical. On communication, it must be hot, it must be honest, it must be open, it must be two-way. It should be used to inspire your sales team to deliver across board. Last but not the least is supervise. What you don't supervise, you will see its demise. Yeah, rhymes right. What you don't supervise, you will see its demise. So it's important that you supervise. If you're not supervising, you're going to lose quite a lot. All right. Now, thank you very much. We're going to look at the 1 month sales challenge. And what I want you to do, I want to challenge you to set a goal for the month. Set a goal for the month and say to yourself, this is a goal, for the months. Create, strategize number one. Create a goal for the month. Have a strategy plan. What is it that you want to achieve? Remember, it's not impossible. Number two, you've got to sit down with it and look at it perfectly well. Look at what it is that you want to achieve. All right. Communicate it, and communicate effectively to your staff. So we said strategize, create a strategy. What's your sales goal? How do you want to achieve it? And all those things, and communicate these things to your staff. After you communicate it to them, go ahead and now make sure you supervise it and see how it goes. It's going to be a wonderful time. I'm expecting that within that 1 month, I will be available for your questions, available to coach you, to answer your questions, to help you out, to achieve any of these goals that you have. All right. So we need to just work hard. I need you to start work. And remember, guys, customers will not possibly come to you. Sometimes you have to go to them. And so when you set these goals, you got to work and it's going to happen. So I'll be with you for a whole 1 month. We're going to work together and we'll set the goals and all that. So once you buy this course, automatically you are enabled to actually do it, to get a 1 month with me, where I'm going to help you out with your issues. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending the course. I hope this really helped you. I hope this really lifted you. And I hope it was what you done. Beautiful. All right, so once again, I'm Adini Adebola Tiba, Dr. Triple A. These are my contact details. You want to message me, please send this information. You want to ask questions, send me an email. You want to chat me up on WhatsApp, that's the details. Let us know how this goes. And I'm very sure that we're going to do very well, guys. Thank you very much for your time. All right. So thank you very much. Appreciate you. It's good to see you and all that. So we're going to, like I said, I will look forward to seeing you because I need you to just see my face. Need you to just prepare. We look forward to seeing you. We expect to hear from you and have a swell time there. All right. Cheers.